There were 5 Hope 6 grants that this community was able to obtain from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
We saw a public housing site get transformed, but we still had parcels and buildings literally right across the streets. The reinvestment never occurred.
Without the infrastructure around the housing, you still don't have necessarily a better neighborhood. You have a great development.
HUD had this Choice Neighborhood program. It was kind of a follow-up to the Hope 6 program.
Which not only targets the public housing site, but it looks at multiple properties that are adjacent or that are coexisting in close proximity.
It's really all about identifying the heartbeat in each neighborhood and figuring out how can we invest in that area and let that be the light for the area around it to grow.
In South City, we have a Choice Neighborhoods grant that will replace all of the public housing on the Foot Home site. But it's also designed to have what's called a neighborhood impact, and it also has a people impact.
Foot Homes is one of the oldest public housing developments in the nation.
They were some of the first housing units that were built for blacks at that time. Large public housing development. We want to reinvest in this neighborhood, and we would want that to be the light. We want that to be what you think about when you think about this space, not the blight that you used to see, but this new reimagined space.
You get away from this warehousing of the very low-income folks and create an opportunity for them to continue to live in their neighborhood. And also it's mixed income, so you have an opportunity to interact with people from all socioeconomic levels, which is important. It also symbolizes a great opportunity to provide better housing and a better quality of life for the returning residents as well as new residents that will move into the development. And hopefully a significant impetus for additional development around South Memphis and moving toward downtown and back toward the south and the southeast. A lot of things happen to make this project become a reality despite all of the significant challenges. And one of the questions we were constantly asked about this project was, why don't you redevelop what's here as opposed to demolish and do new construction? And one of the answers is the fact that we literally had to clean up the environmental contamination that was not just here, but in the site altogether.
So, there was a lot of strife, frankly, in terms of people having a fear of redevelopment of public housing sites in Memphis.
A lot of that pushback was rooted in ensuring that the families that were living there were going to have a space in any new development that took place.
We took a lot of criticism about this project, from people who said we're trying to gentrify their neighborhood, we're trying to displace poor people. And that was the furthest from my mind. So what I guess I learned is the fact that you just have to take your hits and then continue to fight for what you believe in and what you know is right, despite the criticism and the critics, because at the end of the day, what you're doing will be much, much better for the people you're trying to help than what's here or what was here before.
Urban Strategies was brought to Memphis to provide support services through Memphis Housing Authority and the Women's Foundation.
This has been a 3+ year effort. We've got a lot of residents that are relocating, and they are extremely happy about what you see around here.
Early on, we started working with families as to where they want to live. In doing that, with the case managers going to the various landlords, going to the various properties, helping them think about the school, the grocery stores, the doctor's office.
Everything, relocation services to education services to financial literacy services.
That holistic approach also gives the confidence to the families that they are cared about and that there's an expectation also on the other side that they would equip themselves so that when they come back, they're prepared to live a new and a different, empowering life.
They're really doing one-on-one work with them, they're doing group work with them, just so they can understand their true needs.
Hey Gladys, how are you? Can I come in? Okay.
We're hoping that 300 families return.
This is gorgeous. Thank you. It's beautiful.
But we know families have a choice. If they want to return, we're doing everything we can to ensure that they return.
I moved in an Oakville home actually in 2005. When I moved out, it was like 2016. They was redeveloping and everything. From the Oakville home to the new, I feel that transition.
You know, there's the human side of all of this work, and that families have to have a space that they can call their own.
Before I ever got this or knew I was gonna get it, me and my son used to pull up right here and pray for it. Like, I want this house. So when she told me I was 501 St. Paul, I already knew what it looked like because I had been sitting here asking God for it. Miss Rose has always looked out for me, so I know she's gonna continue to do that.
The transformation in these communities is really what we as a city and a community are striving toward. And now you have a $1 billion investment in the form of the walk. That investment would not have taken place but for the redevelopment of South City.
I think when you look at the reinvestment and the rebuilding of the existing infrastructure, where we now see improvements to roads, there's landscaping, there's new parks that are coming in, all centering around this new housing, and there's new commercial and retail that's been planned as a result of it. And that brings all of the key factors together to redefine and redevelop and bring forth the South City community.